Here's something you can absolutely practice today to help you improve your forehand. And here's Muguruza showing us this perfectly. It's when you contact the ball that you look like you're waving to your opponent. Here's a perfect example of it. Notice when she contacts, she is waving to the opponent with her left hand. When you hit a forehand and you look like you're waving to your opponent at contact, there's a great view of it right here. It allows you to rotate your body as you strike the ball. So many recreational players actually struggle to rotate their body because they do not wave. So just look at this. At contact, it's like she's literally waving to the opponent. A lot of recreational players, they drop this arm down. Wave to your opponent and you will absolutely improve your forehand.
Now, whenever I make a video on this topic, I always get people in the comment section saying, Ryan, you're wrong. That this idea of waving to the opponent at contact is just a natural reaction to the shoulders rotating, and the non-hitting hand goes for a ride, and it looks like they're waving to the opponent at contact. And you don't actually have to think about the waving, you just have to make sure that you rotate the body. Completely disagree, and here is why. See, the vast majority of tennis players around the world, right? And I'm not going to say pros, I'm going to say, higher intermediate levels and below, the people who watch YouTube videos to help them improve. Those players, 90% of them have their non-hitting hand down when they strike the ball. See, it's the non-hitting hand that is dropping that actually impedes the shoulder and hip turn. When you watch beginners and intermediate players, they hug themselves all the time. They actually hit forehands like this, and their arms finish crossed. The idea of taking the racket back with both hands and then waving to the opponent at contact gives their non-hitting hand a job to do. And it's the job that actually occurs naturally for the people who rotate their shoulders naturally. You can actually correlate the height of the non-hitting hand at contact with the level of the player. When beginners, if you're a coach, if you're teaching a bunch of beginners, film them and at contact, look where their non-hitting hand is. Their non-hitting hand is going to be down here. If you teach beginners, not one of them is going to have their non-hitting hand up here. Look at Diego Schwartzman. Look at Novak Djokovic. Right there, we just saw Muguruza. Their non-hitting hand looks like they're waving. I've made videos showing you Leighton Hewitt at contact. It actually looks like he is waving to the opponent when he strikes the ball. As you look at the level of the player rise, you actually start to notice the height of the non-hitting hand rising for that player as well. So if you have a beginner, if you have a child, if you have an intermediate player, and their non-hitting hand is down as they're hitting the ball, most likely, and I would say 90% of the time, they are not able to turn their body into the shot. So they are forced to just swing with their arm because their non-hitting arm drops, they end up hugging themselves when they're done. Try taking the racket back with both hands, and then as the racket drops, you move the hand across, your non-hitting hand across, to wave to the opponent. That doesn't impede hip turn. It allows your body to rotate, and then you can easily spin up the back of the ball. So let me hit a couple forehands here. I'll show you from the side. You love how the ball just keeps spinning. So watch, when I strike the ball, I'm going to be waving to my opponent over there. See, this is the practice that you need to be doing at home with the Topspin Pro. I just got a new ball on the Topspin Pro. I've had this for 2 years, and I finally had to get a new ball for it. And I use it all the time. I have my students use it all the time. The ball is super durable. And I just called up the company, ordered it, and look at that. Look how long the ball spins. It's awesome. It gives you the look and the feel and the understanding of what topspin is. When you strike the ball, have your non-hitting hand up like you're waving to your opponent. By the way, you can use my link in the description below. If you love my videos, TikTok, Instagram, here on YouTube, and you want to get a Topspin Pro, It would mean the world to me if you use my link. It's in the description and pinned in the first comment. Now, if you're looking for people in your local area to play matches against, so you can absolutely beat them with your non-hitting hand waving to them as you strike the ball, or if you're looking for a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link in the description and pinned in the first comment for playyourcourt.com, and it's playyourcourt.com/2minutetennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. Film yourself, look at the video at contact. If your non-hitting hand is low, you're probably arming your shot and you're not turning your hips. Take the racket back with both hands, make sure you're waving at contact, and I would just suggest that you finish to make sure that you're finished by catching the racket in your non-hitting hand to make sure that you're doing it correctly. You copy this technique, there's no doubt. You're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.